Descent attacks, more crashes, a very, very selective stage in Stage 5 of the Tour de France Femmes avec Zwift, with a stage that looks like, could Laurent Aviva survive it. 2.6 Ks, 5.5% climb with a descent about 7 Ks from the finish. Certainly one that maybe Marianne Vos can survive, as well as a bonus sprint 2/3 the way up that final climb. So Vos in the yellow jersey, should be confident in the stage win. Surely a breakaway with Jackson, Chapman, Barali, Dijkstra, and Soto Campos. Movistar were controlling it. So some teams with the more versatile punchers, not even versatile sprinters, but a puncher like Lippert, they were controlling. A lot of crashes the last few days. Faulkner abandoned. Marion Bunel, who's the climbing support of Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, hit the deck and hurt her left arm, it seems, and we've got the long climbs beginning tomorrow. She would get back to the peloton but then get dropped, so we'll see if she gets added to the list of abandonments tomorrow morning. But indeed, Movistar, with their leader Roycer out of the race, and with some hard mountain stages coming up, this is like a chance for Lippert where it's a punchy climb, but then it's a flat sprint where she's won a couple and she's a fast finisher. At the intermediate sprint, the breakaway took most of the points. Vibas completed the formalities, rolling over ahead of Vos from the peloton. But coming up to a succession of 3 categorized climbs. First one, just positioning. It looked hard in the peloton. The gap was melting to the breakaway. Brody Chapman attacked out of that. Then they slowed down again. Mary Linaire positioning, Demi Vollering, but it's Phoenix to Koenig. First with Royackers, then with Yara Castelline. They start pacing all out on the middle climb. This was longer, but only about 4.5%. With 25 Ks to go, this completely shatters the peloton and drops every single sprinter, drops Vibas, and we were thinking, okay, she might just hold on the last climb. She's dropped on this second last climb. Lotte Kopecky waits for her and starts pacing her. They weren't far behind, but the pace just kept going. Perhaps seeing that or hearing it on the radio, AG Insurance Soudal, they start to pace with Justine Hikira because they have Kim Lecourt-Pinar in that group who won Liège. She's a very good, from a reduced group of 5 or 6 riders, she can win a sprint, no problem. But then it stops. We've got rolling terrain before the last climb, 6 or 7 Ks where a rider might anticipate. So lots try. Silke Schmolders, Squibon, Bananroy, Miamont, as well as Alina Janssen tried as well. When I think Valliers for EF Education Oatly tries, she's marked by Lebu. It's Canyon Schramm who have the most numbers. They locked this down. They got Bauernfeind, Dygert, and when Squibon gets away from that breakaway, Chapman had pulled for her, who'd been in the early break. But they're all going for Niewiadoma, who's in that white Polish Natty Champs jersey. They solved the anticipations. We get to the Le Puy climb, 2.8 Ks, 5.5%. All the GC contenders there. Look how small this group is. 10 riders, 11 riders already, because Dygert absolutely smashes it from the bottom, and we got the main ones there. It stops 500 meters from the bonus sprint. Shabby starts to pace for FDJ Suez. Vollering's about to get on the radio, and then Ferrand-Prévot launches it. KLCP rolls over the top of her. They got a small gap with Niewiadoma there. Vollering counters. She kind of gave up on the intermediate sprint and then countered, but Van der Breggen comes back across with Gigante. It flattens out here. Mavi Garcia and Shabby are just behind. Vos has made the best 10 on the hill, which probably about as much as she could hope for. She's coming back on the wheels of Shabby and Garcia because Vollering wants teammates around her. The problem for her is Gigante gets to the front. She's the teammate of KLCP in that Mauritian National Champions jersey. And despite the gap being only 3 seconds with 1K to go, she rips this gap open. So Garcia and Shabby never get back to the wheel. Draft's very important, as you can see on this climb. It's undulating. It's not that steep in parts. And then over the top, Van der Breggen sends it so it never stops in front. Van der Breggen, she tried to attack over the crest, get a descent, get onto the wheel of the motorbike. This is how she won a stage in the Vuelta this year, with a great attack on a descent. But unfortunately for her, Niewiadoma's there. Niewiadoma closes her. She goes over the top. Her front wheels bouncing all over the place on these corners. This isn't where Gigante wants to be, but she keeps, in reasonable contact with Royackers and Ferrand-Prévot at the back. Niewiadoma were worrying with the shade in the inside of those corners, some leaf litter on the ground, some wet patches. Will she be able to keep it up? She does keep it up, but this really kills the chase behind because they've gone full gas from the intermediate sprint halfway up that for the bonus seconds. Vollering then attacked. Van der Breggen attacked at the start of the descent. Niewiadoma fully sent it. Gigante's on the radio saying she's coming back. Le Corps Pinard's trying to get some cooperation with the group, but none of them are going to relay. They all know how fast she is from Liège, where she won the sprint. Niewiadoma, Van der Breggen, and Ferrand-Prévot are not fast sprinters, nor is Royakkers. Vollering will pull if the others also do their fair share of work. Gigante comes back. Pinard does the smart thing. She just lets the wheel go and forces the others to close Sarah Gigante. Van der Breggen tries to attack, but it's not a good place. Sort of a shallow downhill marked by Niewiadoma. And so it's just Gigante again. Forget about Vos. She ain't coming back from the group behind. And Gigante does the perfect teammate role for Kim Le Corps Pinard. Could any of them try to attack? I mean, they're not going to beat Vollering or KLCP in the sprint. Van der Breggen tried. She just lost a bit of momentum there where she tried to go on the inside. And then it's kind of strange. They all went 3 or 4 across the road and no one really did a lead out. Everyone just started sprinting into the air straight away. But it looks like the inevitable was going to happen. And from the front on view, did Kim Le Corps Pinard just Alaphilippe herself by celebrating too early? It was probably a nervous moment in the team car, but fortunately for them, she'd won actually comfortably in the end on the line. Not 10 metres off the line, but that doesn't matter. Winning the stage ahead of Vollering, then Van der Breggen, Niewiadoma, Fini, Ferrand-Prévot, Gigante, Royakkers, Vos, winning the sprint behind Music Shabby. Here's what KLCP had to say after the stage.
We came into the stage with a very clear plan to first try and stay safe in the early part of the stage because it's long and flat. That was quite difficult. There was a lot of big crashes. My teammate Ilse got really injured on the chin, but I'm glad she's back on the bike. And then the big goal was to take the bony sprints, which I managed to do. And then, if we finish in a small group, then try and take the stage victory. It was a bit tricky at the end. I went around the corner really fast in first position. I thought it was closer than I expected. But luckily my kick is the fastest in the group.
At the end, you were with all the GC contenders, all the stars. How did you manage to keep calm?
I had a teammate with me, so that helped a lot. I think if I didn't have Sarah, maybe the group behind would have come back because some girls in the front group was not keen to pace. I think there was only me, Demi and Kasia that was kind of keen to do the work and get to the line. Once Sarah got back after the downhill, I was really, really lucky to have her because she just committed fully to the line, and without her, I wouldn't do what I did today, and without the whole team. So this shows that teamwork is really what you need in the sport.
In terms of GC, she also takes the yellow jersey off the shoulders of Vos, who drops down. Ferrand-Prévot on 18 seconds, Vollering on 3 seconds, and Niewiadoma, etc. We've got big gaps already. I mean, Kobol's already on over a minute. We have done basically... Today was the longest climb the GC riders really raced up, which was 5 minutes or less. Tomorrow we get into the mountains. Hope you enjoy the recap, and I'll see you then. Ciao, ciao.